so much for riding with us. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to join Lips and Lobes on your Sunday afternoon, and we are so very much thankful for having you here. Yeah. So this is just going to be an informal, we just kicking in the living room with our girls, having a conversation about what?
Myths, mirrors, and our bodies.
Yes, that right there. And y'all can see the sign right there. Yeah, look at the sign right there. But in case this is your first time at an experience, this is our first time at an experience like this also.
Yes.
This is our first live experience. Typically, we do our experience via Zoom, or the 4 wellness warriors here, we come together and then we record an experience and then we share it to our subscribers. Which, by the way, if you are not a subscriber, please click the link in our bio. And that will take you to our page so that you can subscribe. So you will receive all of the emails about our upcoming events, what we're doing when we take it. We're outside and we do field trips as well if you are in the local DMV area. If not, we will keep you informed about things that we will be doing virtually. So whichever way, please subscribe. Also, make sure you are following us. And we have a YouTube channel as well where we throw up our videos there. So in case you can't come to an experience or you want to get some more of us, you go to our YouTube page and see some of the videos of us, our breath work, our creative expression, our conversations, our meditations, and our movement. All right, so enough of this. So let's get an intro going on before we get really started. So, my name is Tracy, aka Tall Shine. I am typically the conversationalist in the group, typically. But we do switch roles. We like to role play. Well, sometimes we don't. We just have to role play sometimes. So my name is Tracy, aka Tall Shine. To my right,
I am Bridget, aka B Art, and I am normally in charge of creative expressions. All things creative and expressive come my way.
Hey. Hello, folks. My name is Lisa, aka Lisa Peace. Generally, I do things related to meditation and sometimes yoga. And I'm just so happy to be here with my melanated queens.
Peace, everyone. I'm Jade, aka Jade the Sage. I burn sage. I smell sage. It's in my bag. I'm going to get it. But yes, always offering words of wisdom, whatever's on the heart, and guiding every participant on a breathing experience. So that's my thing. That's my gist.
And we have a special guest with us today.
We're not putting you on the spot. We're absolutely putting you on the spot.
I'm ready.
Hi everyone, my name is Tasha.
Hi, Tasha.
Hi, Tasha.
And I'm a part of the experience today, and I'm happy to be here with
Yay!
Tasha the poet.
Yes.
Yes.
Dope pin on IG, dope pin. So Tasha, this is actually her first time attending an experience as well.
Yes.
And she came to be with us live. So thank you so much, Tasha. We appreciate you. Our little baby is with us. All right, so that's who we are individually. So just want to share with you who we are collectively as a unit as wellness warriors of Lips and Lobes. So we support, assist, and guide overall wellness through conversations, breath work, meditation, physical movement, creative expression. We support the empowerment of the feminine voice and provide safe spaces for that voice to be heard. We encourage self-healing and the release of self-practices that may be detrimental. We are also promoters of the power of the pussy. And pushers of our positive selves. So that is who we are collectively. Thank you and welcome to the Queendom. Yes. So, as we mentioned earlier, today we're just going to be having a conversation about myths. What kind of myths as Black melanated women that we deal with internally ourselves, or that may be, are placed upon us from others. Also, the mirror. What is that mirror? When we look in that mirror, what is it telling us? What are we allowing it, that reflection to say back to us? And then our bodies. How are we loving, embracing our bodies, where they are today? So, yeah, that's what we're doing. So I'm going to stop. Shut up. No, shut up, no.
So we want to kick things off and just kind of do a round robin, posing this question. And this question will be answered by the ladies here, as well as those of you on this live. So the question is, what are some of the myths that people say about Black women and friendships? Let me just repeat that again and give you a moment to think. What are some of the myths that people say about Black women and friendships?
You know, I can't be friends with no females. I can't be friends with no females. They got too much. They jealous. They just no. They gonna take your man. I can't. No.
That's what I was gonna say, girl. You better watch your man. You better watch your man.
So the man, and then just that we're messy. That's one I hear sometimes. That we just messy.
Yeah, that is another one.
Yeah.
All right, Tesha, can you see anything in there in the comment land?
No.
Okay. All right. I see a hand.
Is that a reason?
I see a type. What we got?
Is that
You can go up there.
prime pickup energy? Is that pick me energy? Yeah, I think it says pick me energy.
We gonna come up and read it.
Prime pick me energy. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Prime pick me energy. That's her answer. Okay. There we go.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Energy. Now that we put it together. There you
So
go.
that took 4 brains to get it. Yes, it is received. Anybody else have anything?
Sometimes we don't have each other's back.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Off of the I got mine, you got yours to get, so we don't help pull each other up.
Yes. So my next question is, who generally says these things? Who are the originators of these belief statements that we're messy, we don't have each other's back, that we better watch our man? Who says these things?
I wouldn't say some of us say it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been passed down.
Yeah.
And when you say some of us, is it young? Is it old? Is it?
I think it's a mixture.
Yeah.
It's a
I
mixture.
think it's a mixture because I've heard it from older. I've heard it from my generation. Yeah. Yeah. It's a mixture.
It is. It is.
Sad.
I'm curious, who are some of your closest friends? Give each one of you a chance to be able to share. But who are your closest friends, and what makes them a friend? So who are your closest friends, and what makes them a friend?
So the first thing when you said, let me go back to the first question when you
Sure.
said who generally says these things. My first answer was, I don't know. Because that part has not been my experience. I've heard those myths in the wind, but nobody's ever said them to me. It's never been like my philosophy. And I always say that I've been fortunate to not have that experience where I grew up thinking, oh, you can't be friends with other queens. I just have been fortunate enough to have really good friends. So my good Judies. I got that from one of my good Judies. Her name is Brandis. We work together. But she was like, a good Judy is like a good girlfriend. So sometimes it's sisters that I work with, and we've just created bonds. This is one of my good Judies right here. We've been good Judies for over 20 years, but we met at work, and
Drew Freeman.
And it's just how you move, people that you create with, you connect with on a certain level, and then how you move through challenges and obstacles together. And as we move through challenges and obstacles, there was no mess. I told secrets, they didn't get out. The messiness wasn't there, and that's how you create those bonds. So I disagree. Black women can be amazing support systems to one another. These other two queens are part of my tribe. You know, those who hold you down. You don't even have to. These queens so dope. I don't even have to say nothing. I get silent and they, what's wrong? And where you at? You okay? They might hear the Lord in the voice and they coming over. That's your tribe. Your tribe is like your spiritual bloodline. They got you. Yeah.
You know, going back to the question about where have I heard some of those comments. When I think back, it wasn't that long ago, maybe about a month ago, an educator in the school system was talking to a student, a black female student, and the student was having an issue with one of her friends, and the adult said, well, you know, you can't have too many girlfriends. Women are messy. And I said, you know what? We're gonna put a pin on here like that. I said, that's not, like Bridget, that's not been my experience. What makes you say that? And so the adult said that, well, I have a lot of sisters. I said, let's hold it there. That's a whole nother, I said, siblings got a whole nother dynamic. You can't put what happened between you and your siblings and all the females. So then I turned to the student and I said, you know, what is it about this particular female, this particular friend that you're having issues with? And she paused for a minute and she said, you know what? Actually, she's not the issue. I wasn't a good friend to her. I was doing some stuff. And so I said, you know what, when we hear that statement, we need to step in and pause, and we need to dissect that and just not let that statement just manifest itself out in the air like that. We need to challenge that, you know. But what was funny, so as we had the conversation, the student was like, okay. But the adult was still like, yeah, but my sister. I said, that's your sister's stuff. Your sister's stuff. We don't put that out there on this, you know, this young queen coming up. You know, this is this myth, and you can see how it starts to.
They try to be relatable, but you're doing more harm than good because it's not what it's saying.
You're making a blanket statement.
Another key thing that I heard you say is that was that woman's experience, and her experience don't get to be like the general rule for all female relationships.
Oh, black female
relationships. I think if she dissect that experience and see where she fit in the root of it too, she might have an aha moment too.
Yes. Yes.
And that does happen when we take the time or the person who's feeling that way takes the time to really see, like you said, where's this coming? Where's this coming from? Because there is a root, there is a beginning to where did this come from? Was it an experience I had, like you said, with the siblings? Was it an experience with my mom? Was it an experience with some kind of maternal person in my family?
That's right.
Because it just doesn't come out of anywhere. And then, like she said, I wasn't a good friend. So it could be in turn of the other person, but sometimes it could also be ourselves, but we don't want to look at ourselves, so we're going to put it on everybody else. Yeah, just because I don't want to do that self-work. Yeah. That takes too much time. That's heartache.
What we got going on in the chat, Jay?
So we're going to pause and acknowledge some of these comments. We have a few, hey, y'all look beautiful. Hello, it's Jocelyn on the mic.
Queens being positive.
Yes, okay. Right. So Jocelyn is in the room. We got Rashida in the room. She says, hello, beautiful ladies. Happy anniversary.
Hey, that's our anniversary, y'all. Oh, I didn't even say that. Right. April 18th was our anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah. 2 years. 2 years.
Deuces. We have Miss Saldana Works.
Oh, hi, Sharia.
She says hi. And she was the one who offered the answer of energy.
Okay.
That was her answer. That's me and my, I don't know what I'm doing either.
Yeah, because it's something about, that's the other thing when she said energy, right? So I do believe that we give off energy as queens, right? But I feel like sometimes the energy is read wrong. You know, we're very creative and expressive individuals. And so if a queen give you a little bit of stank face, or if she like a little loud or something like that, we go ahead and make assumptions about what's going on with this queen and not necessarily like we don't really check into like go any deeper, if you will. Because I have a couple of queens who, off the top, if I'm not checking myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm reading, she jerking back, I'm jerking back. But once I take the time to get to know them, I'm like, that's just how they are.
Right,
That's how that queen moves, and I don't know why. I don't know that queen's backstory and why she has to move like that. Whether it's boundaries, whether it's this is my wall, my gate, I don't know. But sometimes that first that exchange of energy sometimes can disconnect and keep something from blossoming that could be there.
But how do you? Okay, so let's stay with the energy. Maria brought the energy. You talked about that. So we've all walked into spaces and we felt that energy, you know, from other sisters. So how do we address that? How do we just pretend we don't see it? Do we give it right back? Like how do you all address when you feel that energy in the space? What do you do?
I don't feel it.
I try to figure it out.
Yeah.
And not take it personal at first, because I know, like, as Black women, we're always dealing with a lot of stuff.
Ooh, that part. That.
And to check myself first too, to make sure I'm not projecting, you know, any insecurities.
She said them insecurities, making sure she's not projecting any insecurities, and she first looks at herself before checking and putting it on somebody else. Listen to this baby over
when
here.
She said the insecurity part, because sometimes a bad woman will come in the room and everybody go, Or I'll hear girls say, she thinks she cute. I say, ain't she supposed to think she cute? Obviously she is, right? But that's us dealing with our insecurities, because baby, we don't feel our best. I try to turn it around. If I see a cute queen, I'll be like, queen, you working them earrings, you doing your thing today. And usually the receptionist, thank you, queen, acknowledge. Why can't we just acknowledge what we see instead of it goes back to us?
That sometimes will even disarm someone that might have a stink face. And you're like, oh, your earrings. And I can see the look on their face like, well, wait a minute, you give me a compliment. What do I do? And it's like, thank you. And then the whole mood shifts. The whole mood shifts, you know?
Because what Tasha said, we do carry a lot and go through a lot. And we don't know what somebody woke up with. It's almost like I used to see men and they be like, smile, it ain't that bad. I don't even realize that I'm not smiling, but I don't even know what I'm dealing with today. But let me move through it how I need to move through it. So we just don't know what it is. We got to unpack and check ourselves.
Now, I know Bridget shared her good friends. Anyone else want to share their good friends? You know, who are your good friends? What makes them good friends for you?
Well, I don't know. I can't see. But Jocelyn was on here. G Money. Robin was on there, and I'm not sure if T Macula came and logged on. These are my girls from high school, queens, not girls. These are my queens from. We've known each other middle school. But our tribe got thick high school. And so we lost one in January. It was 5 of us, so we lost one, so we're 4 now. But we built the strength. So when y'all talk about, when Jay would say, you need an educator. Them queens right there.
I said it.
Yeah, you I would be talking about something. You need to I was like, I hear this the whole time. She don't want to see. Sorry, Robin. She can take
Hey, I don't know what I did, but hey, y'all. I'm finna block myself again.
I think she requested to join, and join means join. Oh, that's what it means.
But you know, I'm glad you did that, Robin, because I've been on live. I wonder what the joy meant. I didn't know that what your face is.
I thought it was just meaning you just wanted to be part of the live.
Participate in the conversation.
I didn't say that.
It's okay, Robin. We learned this stuff.
She's in Houston. Robin is in Houston. So on Fridays, Dee, the one who we just that transition, they had a gazebo and a pool in their backyard. So Fridays we didn't feel like going out. We'd be tired from school and everything, and we would go out there and we would just bear it all. Bear it all. So we, even though miles and years may have gone and we didn't connect how we had, but it's that bond is just still there. The trust, the love, the understanding, the rawness. That one of them just basically was just getting snappy with me in the text message. But we just keep it real. Yeah, it's just what we do, and that's it. All right, go ahead. I take it, you take it. We good. Love you. All right, talk to you later. So that is the thing. The trust, that we have. We become family, basically. Extended sisters. So then these queens here, when I said, somebody called me and said, Tracy, is this one sister in your area? And I think y'all would be cool together. I said, I got enough friends. I don't need any more friends. I want to say maybe 2 months later, I'm up in Lisa's SUV and we rolling to see NDRE together. And I was like, I said, see, we don't know everything. God know everything. So I'm so thankful that I did not allow my heart to be hardened and closed. Because then I would have missed out on a wonderful sisterhood right here. So, and why? Because you was asking. Because it's genuine. It's not forced. That's the thing. It just came like this. We just slid right into each other. And it's literally when they say, you didn't know you needed something until you had it. It was like, I didn't know I needed it. And it was like, wow. And we complement each other so well. Like, if you come to a regular experience, not regular, I don't want to say word. If you come to how our experience usually flows, I usually will do the talk on whatever the theme is. Bridget, like she said, she'll give us doing some kind of creative artwork where we're thinking outside of our minds and what we think that we're capable of doing. Lisa has us moving our minds, moving our bodies, and Jade just soothes us. I call her the Sanskrit. That is what is that?
Sanskrit seducer.
Yes. Because her voice is just like, I said, she needs to patent it. She needs to put it on CDs, whatever you want to call it. Because it is, I said, do you wake up and just roll over and whisper in your husband's ear, say, that is butterfly pose in yoga, just so y'all know. But just the way she says it. It is a butterfly. So we just compliment and it meshes so well together. And like Lisa and I have done experiences together, and it's funny because I tell Lisa she's such an intellect. Like she sends us a book to read in 2 days. That's 110 pages. And I'm like, when I grow up, I want to be like you, and I'm just gonna read this, And so she challenges that side, but then she says, I challenge her because they call me, I shared that my family. What we call you? Devo. So, so I'm like, we can do it. You got this, Lisa. You can do it. So it's a beautiful thing when you mesh with people, but we have to be open. We have to be open. We have to be open to do our own work, our healing, so that we can be receptive. It's no different than any relationship, whether or not we're looking for a partner. We have to be open to receive what we need to be doing so that, what is this? Mirrors. So I want to mirror what I am. Now, hopefully I'm mirroring something that's good. So if this is what I am mirroring, so yeah, I'm going to get this right here. I'm going to get this right here because I know I'm genuine. I know I'm loving. I know I'm committed. I know I'm dedicated. I know I am present. So therefore, I'm going to get it back. So that's it. And this young queen right here, she's just like my little baby sister. I just love her because she's so much fun. I just look, and even her JD Pooh, I know she's not the youngest here today, but because the wisdom that these two have at such a young age, it is beautiful. I'm like, ooh. I was like this. This is the wall. Boom, boom, boom. Tracy, watch the wall. What you say? Boom, boom. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know this stuff at this age. Yeah. Bad sister. Yeah.
Ghost told me I've been here before.
See, that's it. So that is also with I love to be around younger people who have that openness, that wisdom, that I am trying to be my higher self because that helps me as well. So, and just to be around youth, it's nice to be around youth because it helps to keep us youthful as well, keep us on our toes, and not become so rigid in our ways as we graciously age.
Yeah.
So that was like plain it.
I want here and see. That had some goodness in it. Let's see.
And I think I'm the only one out of us. Well, no, you got a sister, right? No.
Only child.
Hi there.
Yeah.
Hi there, brown beauties. So we got some hi brown beauties, and I'm going to read some of these comments just to thank you all for participating.
Yes.
I'll be up and down because this is what I'm doing today.
My see, that's our youngest. That's what we need them young.
Yes.
Making it locked. See, look at that. See, this big lock right here. This thing ain't gonna move. So we might have to have the camera off when it's time for me to get up.
So we have Rashida sharing. I have a very good friend, best friend since 5th grade. Also, a few others as I got older, either from work or other events, who I am connected with.
Yes.
And we have G Money. We've grown to realize that I don't need to knock your crown off to wear mine. There's enough room for each of us to shine.
Yes.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
So, y'all know I love Audre Lorde.
Yeah.
So I came across this quote from her, and it talks about Black women and our friendships with other people, and other people mean other races versus friendships within ourselves. And so Audre Lorde, if you don't know, she's a Black feminist scholar and is badass. Rest in peace. So she said this quote: "At this point in time, were racism to be totally eradicated from those middle range relationships between Black women and white women, those relationships might become deeper, but they would still never satisfy our particular Black woman's needs for one another, given our shared knowledge and traditions and history."
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that, ladies?
100% facts.
100%.
Facts on facts.
What is she saying about Black females and our relationships with one another?
I think that's the same argument that kind of sheds light between how men and women are so different. We are just different. It's ingrained in us. We're raised differently. We're treated differently. We're looked at differently by everyone. The church, the law enforcement, the judge, the jury. Like, we're just in a class of our own. So to make that connection with people that are like us is more natural. It's more organic because I don't have to explain things.
Right.
It's just felt. It's understood.
Yeah.
It's intuitive. It's like that thing where we walk and we nod. Now that's a Black thing, right?
Yes.
It goes a little bit deeper with another Black woman. When I see her and we just look, it's an exchange of look, and it's a million things being said that's not being said. We might can't articulate what's being said, but we both know it's another language.
Yeah.
It's like I told Bridget the story. I was at a Walmart. It was at the beginning of the year, and it was a long line of folks, and we were in line patiently. And this young girl, teenage girl, she was in line holding maybe 3 or 4 things in front of me. Okay. And then I see she turns and she motions, and her mother comes over with a cart full. Now this is like, I think 10 items or less. And she comes, so everyone, you feel the energy tense up. And I turn and look, and there's a sister, maybe 3 people behind me. She gives me the look like,
You gonna handle it?
sister, you gonna handle it? And I look at her like, I got this. Excuse me. And look, Joe was like, hold back. But it was just her look, and she's like, "You better handle this, sister." And I got your back. So needless to say, that woman, her cart had to go to another line. So
That is true.
That unspokenness.
And I'm seeing it. I guess it's intensified with us wearing masks because you really have to pay attention more because we don't see that we may do with the mouth. You know, like. So it's just the eyes. So the eyes have to be even more piercing so that we get that connection with each other. So yeah, it is true. It's like,
you know, I try to let my female students know that what we do, that's who we are, and it's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
Like the way we communicate, that special way. I said it's good. I said no, we don't. You know, we're expressive. The neck rolls. I said this is all of who we are, and relish in that, love that. Don't let people like mock it or like. Yeah, it's not a negative.
No.
It is not a negative.
That you say
Yeah, because you know, there's just like thing like those aren't good traits or whatever. Like we need to be this.
Yeah.
And yes, and talk softer. Like someone else defined that this is what makes women beautiful and pure and lady. And anything other is not that.
What it does is addressing the angry black woman thing. And for a long time, I used to kind of speak to it. I'm sorry if I'm coming off as the angry black woman. I don't know why I was apologizing. Somewhere around the pandemic or after the pandemic, we began to do a lot of outward work on ourselves, and we became unapologetically ourselves. And I learned to stop apologizing for that. I might be angry. I got a lot of damn reasons to be angry if I am. So I might be angry, I might not. But what I'm not going to do is apologize for how I show up authentically. So that part, yeah. Big.
Well, I think with the anger is for us to be wise and not misdirect it in the wrong place, because we can carry that and then we take it out in public and give it to the wrong people. So that is the thing that's really important, because we will see that out in public. You go into a store and thank you, the customer, thank you. And so what I've done is somebody said earlier, how their disposition will change if you give a compliment or whatever. So you try to connect with them, because again, we don't know what kind of day they're having, what they've been experiencing in their life, and they may not be as wise to know. We do have to learn how to compartmentalize, somewhat, so that we don't take all of that outside with us, especially to work. So trying to then be on the other end to say, really, how are you today? I've leaned over sometimes and said, is there anything that I can assist you with? That's what I have done to the strange person that is checking me out. And I look them in the eye, because I want them to know that that is sincere. And they have looked me in the eye and said, no, I'm good, thank you. And then the shift, there's that shift, because because I told somebody, it wasn't until taking yoga training that I learned to ask that, how may I support? How may I assist you? And those few words are so powerful, so heavy, so helpful to someone, even myself. So that I notice is us learning how to handle that anger and what to do with that anger, and not misdirect that anger towards the wrong people that have nothing to do with it. I can be angry at what I'm dealing with, but I don't need to go into Safeway and I'm Randall's and Ross and TJ Maxx and be mad at them, when it has something to do with X, Y, and Z in my personal space of life. So.
But you know what, Tracy, that also taps into portrayals of us. Like where do we get those messages? Where do we see those portrayals of the angry black woman or the loud black woman or the boss? Where do we get those from?
TV. Movies, TV.
But I'm also saying from the stores.
Sometimes in everyday interaction.
That's what I'm saying. In the stores, when I go in the store, and just because I'm in Ross doesn't mean, just because it's inexpensive doesn't mean that I need to be treated like crap in an attitude, So yes, it is portrayed. That's where I think others may see it from movies, but that's the thing to learn, my personal experience, I have dealt with it in public with cashiers, with customer service, with, it's just like, oh, there go the sass, there go the, well, I don't want to do, no, well, you need to go take this on, and I'm fine with the neck roll and everything, you can do it with a smile and neck roll, but when now wait, what store you get this from? Well, you know, she want to return this to her. You know. Yeah. You know, like Bridget with her case.
Where can you all name? And this is for you all out there too, so you can put this in the chat box.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, where are we seeing some of the negative portrayals and images of Black women? Where do you see them? Name a movie. Name a television show. Put that in the chat.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Save a woman. Every Black woman needs to be saved by a man.
She done called you out.
Do
Do
better,
better, Tyler.
Do better, Tyler.
Who else?
All right, so we got Tyler Perry.
That's Tyler. Byron. Okay.
Now, you know what just came to me, and I don't know who I was talking about this movie with. I cannot remember the name of it. It had Halle Berry. She was like a
Baps?
No, I love that movie though. But she was a club promoter. She was the guy from Cosby Show who was married to Lisa Monet, the corny baby guy.
Yeah.
And then the comedian, I can't remember his name. He wasn't funny to me. This is like in the 90s. Okay. So the guy from Cosby Show. If anybody knows this movie, Robin, are you there? Because you're great with movies. He's a skinny comedian, and he was corny to me. He also played in the movie with
Is he from DC? The little skinny guy from DC.
He had been on drugs a long time. Then he cleaned up.
Tommy Davidson?
Yes, him.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay.
So Tommy Davidson works in a club with Halle Berry. Halle Berry is a club promoter. The guy, Lisa Monet's, Denise Huxtable's husband from the show, they start dating. But anyway, before they start dating, he is dating the woman who used to play in The Heat of the Night. She was the wife of
Real skinny lady.
Yes.
Light skin.
So when they are having, and I used to think this was funny, and I was like, I would look at her as the flaw. But when they was having sex, she would go left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, telling him how to go, what to do, how to stimulate her. And then when she would finish, she would hand them the tissue and say, for your thingy, you know. And so Tommy Davidson character was, she's so militant. I bet you she telling you how to do it, how to hit it. Now, okay, it's making it seem like she's so dominating and controlling, but how about we flip that? Perhaps he does not know how to stimulate and hit it the right way, so she has to.
Was it Strictly Business?
Yes.
Okay.
So she has to tell him how to do it. Of course, it could have been done in a different way, not when you in the midst of it like that.
Yes.
But the thing is, we were portrayed as if something was wrong with us because we trying to tell this Negroid that he ain't hitting it right. So, and this is what you need to do. You need to hit this wall right now and then go to that wall. Yes, the bossy black woman. But let's not look at him. Let's not check him. We're going to just check her.
Right.
So that's a movie that got me.
So another place, Robin commented where we see some of those stereotypes played out. She said commercials and daily life.
Yeah.
Rashida said, I've also seen it at the store, movies from other people's perspective who are not Black.
Mm-hmm.
And then Robin was trying to get the name, but we got it. It's
Strictly Business.
Strictly Business, the name of the movie.
Strictly Business.
She did a crying laughing emoji.
That's interesting. I just had a conversation on vacation talking to a family member's spouse who was visiting, and she was a Caucasian woman, and she was talking about how she constantly puts her foot in her mouth. And she was making
towards Black people.
Yeah, just in general, and I think she did when she was speaking, because she said, I was telling my friend that when she goes into this Black girl thing, that everything just shuts down for me. And I was like, oh, this must be one of the times you put
This
your
must
foot
be
in.
one of the time when you go just like that.
When she goes into this Black girl thing, so I had to unpack it with Indigo later on. She said everything shuts down for me. So we were saying, so it probably does shut down for her for real. So she was telling the truth. Mm-hmm. What she did not understand is that there's nothing wrong with this Black girl thing. Mm-hmm. What what she's talking about is her friend being expressive with her body language, and it intimidates her and calls her to shut down. That's because you don't understand it, you don't care to understand it, and you have to check why you feel intimidated because somebody's moving naturally in their body the way that they move.
That right there, which brings me to knowing your tribe. Yeah. Your tribe will accept you and your boldness and your beauty and your strength and your strongness and that light that you have. They will not be intimidated by it. If they feel some type of insecurity about it, because they are part of your tribe, they will keep that to themselves and they will just work on themselves rather than come and bring that to you. So that is another reason that I have my tribe members who are present on the live, my tribe members here. And then I have another BFF from 6th grade. And she's another one that will not try to change me at all, that I can just ride and be my authentic self, you know. And that is powerful, you know, powerful.
Yes.
So get you there.
So on the flip side, what are some images or portrayals of Black women that have been positive? And again, you guys in the chat, feel free to put that in. Where have you seen positive portrayals of Black women? TV, movies, on the streets, wherever. Where have we seen some positive portrayals?
Well, you know, you always gonna say the Cosby Show.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was gonna say definitely movies, but I would say like movies post-pandemic, when we went through this whole the whole racial conversation and being aware that there was like a shift that happened in, I guess, Black writers, Black producers, or the content was centered around African Americans and the portrayal of women, like Lovecraft.
Y'all know Lovecraft. Put your hand up. Put your hand up.
Yeah.
Lovecraft had one thing where that I don't even remember what scene it was, but the sister was kind of in space with the afro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's happening right here?
Oh, somebody said definitely you ladies.
What's they say again?
Where have you seen positive Black women?
Oh,
She said definitely you ladies.
How about back in the day,
Insecure HBO is another one.
Yes.
Love that
Insecure,
show. Second in the back when she was first did Awkward Black Girl on YouTube, and I love that we didn't have to be the strong Black woman, got it all together. Sometimes we're just awkward. Sometimes we just don't know, and we're just trying to figure it out, and that's okay too. So it's like now we're getting depth and we're getting range, and that was nice to see.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That is.
Yeah. What about the show? Back in the 90s, y'all, with Queen Latifah.
Living Single.
Living Single.
Yeah.
I love
That was colorful.
Shout out Lizzo, and what's my new show that she did?
Big Girls.
Yes. Thank you,
I haven't
Lizzo.
watched it.
Amazon Prime.
Call me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And Robin love Craft Country.
Yes.
I would say a double-sided coin that I'm thinking of. Double-sided coin is like that of independence. It can be positive. So I'll say I've seen that with my mom. But the other side of that is when you get tired and you still got to be independent. It's not so pretty.
Right.
So I would say that that's where I've seen a lot of positivity. Like you can make it with what you have, and might get a little, you know, hot and heavy, but it's up to you to do something with that.
Right.
And I think when you're coming connected on these journeys of healing, yoga, meditation, whatever that looks like for you, you're finding a way to make it work, but also processing your emotions so that you're not projecting your struggle and all that it comes with. You know what I mean? We're born alone and we're going to leave alone.
Right.
So while we're going through things, I can be very much stressed out, but that's not none of y'all. Yeah. So I think healing and being independent go hand in hand.
Right.
And I saw some good images at home for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
How about you, Tessa?
Positive images. I would say when I came to spiritual essence.
Woohoo!
and
Plug
being-
SEY.
Yeah, being in a
Yoga studio.
Yoga studio.
Yoga wellness studio.
Dana Smith.
This is how I met everybody. So, you know, it was just a great experience. And I'm glad to have been a part of that.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
So, y'all know I'm all about the quotes and the research, as Tracy said. So I stumbled across this man, and he said that he found 5 controlling images that affect Black women. So I'm curious to hear you all's feedback on this, and you all as well on the live. So one of the images he says was the mammies. Another was the matriarch. The third was the Black lady, which we kind of talk about, that bossy Black lady,
Right.
you know. Welfare mothers or welfare queens. And then the last one he said was the Jezebel or the hoochie. Yeah, he says these controlling images not only affect the way Black women view each other, but also whether they will enter into a friendship with someone who fits these characterizations. Each of the controlling images contains parts that make Black women seem irredeemable or just too much to handle.
You get it, too much to handle.
Yeah, so how do you think these images, and then put that against what something Tracy mentioned earlier of what the image of a woman should be, quiet and demure and
Obedient.
Okay, so having those two thoughts, how do these impact the way Black women see themselves as well as other Black women?
Can you name those?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had the mammy, the mammy, the matriarch, the strong Black lady, the welfare mom, and the Jezebel. Okay, so we got that, and then we have what a woman's supposed to be like, pure and submissive, and you know whatever the husband says. Yes. So.
And so the question is.
So then the question is, how do these images impact the way we see ourselves and one another?
Definitely the matriarch and the strong Black woman pops out to me. And I think about, I immediately think about my grandmother, right, who was a strong Black woman who raised, 15 by herself?
Wow.
Because her husband passed away. That was passed on to me. You do what you gotta do. You don't do a lot of complaining about it. But I recently learned, like, I just have this image as y'all are talking, is that I'm taking this cape off with the S, I'm shaking it out, and I'm folding that sucker up. Because I am not superwoman. Sometimes I get tired of hearing, but you're a strong Black woman. I know that, but I do not always want to be strong. And as I reflect on my grandmother, now I realize I go back to early morning and I hear her praying. I hear her crying. And I'm like, so this pillage of strength that I saw, she did hold it together. But there was weak moments that she didn't necessarily allow me to see, but I know she was having them. Because my mind is reflecting back to when they were occurring, right? So she too had to take off this cape and be totally a human being. And in essence, that's all we are human beings. And so I think it's about finding a balance now.
Right.
This next generation, what I hope for my daughter is that she finds a balance. Yes, you are a strong Black woman and you are resilient, but you also are human and flawed, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. It's okay to say you're not okay when you're not okay.
You know, we talked about that at the transformation workshop or retreat expo that Bowie State had, and that was one of the things. It was like taking a rest, just allowing ourselves to be at ease, and basically we talked about the superwoman. You know, that we are super, yes we are, and we are a woman, but we're not a superwoman. And so reminding ourselves, and like Bridget said, there are times that I am strong, but there's times when I need to be weak and I need somebody else to help me, you know, to support me at that moment. And that is okay. And that does not diminish any of my value, my worth, my strength. Me being a matriarch is like Bridget said, I'm human. I'm not perfect, you know, so I am not flawless, but I am human. So that is good. So those two words stuck out with me as well, the matriarch and the and the strong. I look at my mom. So growing up, I saw strength, but as I got older, then I was able to start seeing that she's a human, so she is weak. I was just young and into my own world, and I only saw what I wanted to see was the strength that she was depicting. But she's a human as well, and she has some weaknesses as well. She hurts, and I also thought about that with the hurt, and that we do feel pain, and we need to feel that pain. Bridget often says, "It's okay, let your heart break, because it'll repair."
That got me through right there.
Yes,
Couple
that
days.
right
I'm like,
there.
breaking now.
It'll repair. So it's okay just to let it have those nasty, snot, ugly, those moments that you need to have, and it is okay, because it takes back to who was the doctor, the insane dub doctor. And they said it just came out of the medical books not so long ago that Black women, we don't feel pain.
Yeah.
So when we were enslaved, not slaves, but when we were enslaved, they would pull our ancestors off the field and then take us inside, and they would run these tests on us with nothing, with no medication or anything. They were experimenting them on us with no drugs, and then they would go and do it with the whites, and they would do that same procedure with them and give them the anesthesia.
Anesthesia.
They would give it to them. So I kind of think sometimes is that the same case, that sometimes we're so strong we don't feel pain. Black women don't feel pain. They just be hard. They rough. You can do this to them, and they still gonna be like, No, we feel it. Even if we're putting on that face, that poker face, as they would say, we're feeling it, and we are having to deal with it if we choose to deal with it. And it may just continue to build and build and build, and then it's just a big, But we feel pain. We are strong, but at the same time, we are vulnerable. We have weaknesses. We hurt. We break. We mend. We heal. And we still can lead at the same time.
So I'm gonna hop on and share some comments. Very great discussion, ladies. 2 snaps up. That's from Acceptance Yoga DC. Rashida is giving her feedback that she sees some of this from Print Media, Essence Magazine, and Ebony Magazine. Robin says, Trey, tell the beauty to your left about how her colorful style inspires me to be bolder in my appearance.
So my left to my right, I guess it looks like. So you mean Bridget?
It might have to be big, because
it's Bridget, because this is the one I sent you pictures of.
Okay, yeah.
Robin.
So you are an inspiration queen, okay?
Own that.
Thank you, Robin.
Accept that sister love.
Indeed. And we have some feedback based on the stereotypes that Lisa mentioned.
Okay.
And Saldana says, only Mamie and Jezebel roles have landed Black woman actors Oscars.
Ooh.
So it is reinforced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Haley Berry got the Oscar in that. What was that?
Monsters Ball.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have this conversation with me and Indigo when who's the young the rapper
When Nicki
Minaj came out, and again we're talking about the stereotypes, and they were like, she should be able to wear what she wants to wear. And I think we were discussing, yes, it's true, but why is it that we always, as young Black women, have to come out as the hoochie to get the fame and all that other stuff, versus Taylor Swift can come out in pajamas and she's like,
y'all want to see
top of the chart. So I said, I hear what you said. We should be able to wear what we want and present how we want. But it seems that we've been pigeonholed, and that's it. And I'm like, can you name any young, under 25 female, artists that don't have to come on the stage half naked?
Right. And pop it.
Right. I think we came up with Alicia Keys was the only one we could name.
NDRE is pretty conservative.
Yeah.
And NDRE.
She considered B-side. No.
Yeah.
She's not part of that.
Right.
Yeah,
that time
that made it. Made it.
Oh yeah, that's why.
So can we name any?
Well,
And
Chloe
y'all
was at first.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And like,
Now, nope.
She said Chloe.
But you get so how do we balance though? I mean, I'm all of course
Right.
be able to express your sexuality
Right.
and your freedom, but are we just limiting ourselves to that?
Mhm.
I mean, can she now just come out with some jeans and a t-shirt?
I hope so because she's very talented,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now she's just put in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jezebel box.
That's
Let's
working.
get
She got
into
it
our
good
body
though.
a little bit.
Living
Yeah.
our body. So, I guess what should we go from myths to body and not do mirrors, or what do y'all think? I only have one more question as it relates to myth, but I like what you said. We got to keep it flexible. Keep it flexible. So, B, you want to go into the body conversation? Okay.
We go to the mirrors or the bodies first.
Well, okay. So I did have a question or two as it relates to the mirrors.
Okay,
So
let's
go.
do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Okay. So we know that standards of beauty. We're gonna talk about standards of beauty and the divide in our community. So this was an issue that my daughter brought up. Nia is 23, and I was so disappointed that this has become an issue. That this is still an issue that becomes. What role does colorism play in the types of friendships Black women may have with one another? Let me repeat that for the IG Live group. What role does colorism play in the types of friendships Black women may have with one another?
It's I hear it and I see it, but I guess I've never experienced it.
Okay.
That's my personal story because my tribe has been different shades of melanin, and even those who are outside of the intimate tribe, I've even had some a lot fairer than me. So
By fair, you mean lighter in complexion?
yes, lighter in complexion, however we say it. Yeah. So but I know that it is real. That you have relationships with our female counterparts that because my clique all needs to be this shade, but I haven't
Really?
Okay.
I haven't dealt with it
Yeah.
personally. So, but I've heard that because it's even in families, that oh no, you can't. In my family, you two, you got to stay in the backyard. You can't come out. So I know that it exists within circles.
I'm curious, Tessa, your age group.
Yeah.
Because I saw, when I said it, I looked in your face and I saw you were like, what is your experience with this?
But I haven't dealt with it like in my older age. But,
In our older age.
as a kid, people were like, oh, you black people, this next year dark skin, and then now it's like everybody's all, empowered, like, oh, we're all beautiful. So it's just like, what happens? Like, do we even talk about that
The
part?
trauma.
Yeah.
The trauma.
But like my friendships, everybody's all different shades and ages, but a lot of people do look for more aesthetics now. Like you'll see it on Instagram, and I just think it's just a lot of false, reality illusions. So the conversation still does need to be had because it is there. It's just a lot, undercover.
Yeah. Because it's that work that a lot of us are not ready to work on.
Right.
So we just want to avoid it.
Yeah, I heard my daughter, her friend said, yeah, such and such team light skin.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
But they don't have that like in their IG name or like light skin, this, that,
Yeah. What is that movie?
The colonizers have done some work.
Yeah, it does go back.
What's his name movie?
A Spike Lee?
Yeah, with the jigaboos and
Oh,
wannabes.
School days.
School days.
Yeah.
The jigaboo, we still dealing with the jigaboos and the wannabes.
Yeah.
And we know who the jigaboos was in the movie.
So does that issue of colorism, does that affect our friendships?
I think more so relationships than friendships.
Okay.
Because you'll be, I guess, pursued as women, because I don't chase nothing, but I can be pursued solely by the complexion of my skin.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm in a group with a variety of, melanated queens,
Yes.
it plays a role. You can kind of see when you're in a certain group who gets more attention versus if I'm with all my brown skin girlfriends versus there's a couple of light brights in there. It definitely, you feel it when it comes from the opposite sex, more so for me personally than from my girlfriends or other women. Yeah.
Wow.
That's been my experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that has been mine with the male versus then with my friends. It's a male, whether or not he wants chocolate or he wants
caramel,
buttercream, all of
vanilla.
Yeah.
And I think for them, that's influenced by, it's got a lot to do with TV, video, movies, that image of beauty that's projected out there.
For all of us, they have it, and then we have it as well, which that is a whole nother experience that we will tap into soon with our brothers, because we love our kings too. So.
Well, I know we had 4 young students, young girls who were threatening to fight one another. And so we sat them down and we were, trying to dissect what's going on, have a mediation. And what was interesting, 2 of the girls, so one has naturally long straight hair, that's one. The other one is lighter in complexion. She said about one of the other girls, well, she's a pretty girl, so I don't know what the problem is. So I said, so if she wasn't pretty, then that would be the issue.
That would be justification.
That would be justification. So, I mean, it was just like, she just put it out there like that. And so then one of the other girls who wasn't as light, I guess then we're justified to be angry with her because she's not the same complexion or she doesn't have the same hair length, So there was a justification for the anger and for the meanness solely based on appearances.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we deal with in society anyway, blacks versus the other community, and then we do it ourselves to each other.
Yes.
Same thing, because like Bridget said, that they have really done
brainwashed.
Yes, serious. It is really ingrained in us, and we have to do some serious work to unravel all of that. That is playing mind games with us, on ourselves and each other.
Yeah.
So it's damaging. That is serious generational curses. And it's not coming from us. The root is not us. It is them, but it was embedded in us. The colonizers. It was embedded in us, and here it is, umpteen years. We're still dealing with it. We are all beautiful.
Yes.
That's right. All shades.
Tracy, you touched on an essay that Audre Lorde wrote back in 1984. It's called Eye to Eye, Black Women, Hatred, and Anger. And she says, other Black women are not the cause nor the source of that pool of anger. She says that Black women are not each other's enemies. She explains that Black women have not been allowed to experience each other freely as Black women in America. We come to each other coated in myths, stereotypes, and expectations from the outside, definitions that are not our own. Black women do not know how to create and maintain friendships outside the stereotypes that they have been exposed to. Even though Black women may have similarities, the similarities may not be enough to sustain the relationship if they are both not willing to work past the anger. Black women must be willing to get to know one another. Black women have to manage to play a part in each other's lives.
We got an amen on that.
Please.
That's true, because I think a lot of us, we connect through trauma, and we don't really get to know each other outside of that. So that's why sometimes the relationships don't last, because there's no true foundation. And I noticed that with myself as well. So doing a lot of healing work, you'll notice you'll go through shifts with people and yourself and your interests. So it's just very, imperative to be up on it. And, understand that yes, what happened to you was wrong, but you don't have to be victimized. You have your power, and nobody can take that from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, as a whole, if you think of things that way, there will be a lot of healing that takes place. So, better friendships, relationships, our families, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is true. The healing part, the trauma that connects us, but that may not keep us, as we heal and grow.
Right.
And that's okay. And you see that even in life in general with girlfriends, is that you may have been connected for one season, but then some way you just outgrown. Things have changed within your life, and we have to be okay with that, because like we were saying today, it's about us showing up, looking in the mirror, and being our true selves, being comfortable with being our authentic selves. So, and if that means that we've outgrown somebody, then that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, that right there. That right there.
Yeah, that Audrey Lorde be
She putting it down.
Yeah.
She putting it down.
Leslie just joined. Hey, Leslie.
Hey, Leslie.
Her contribution was trauma bonds.
And that's just what Tesha spoke on, was trauma bonds. I'm a little youngster. She just said.
But also to your point, I feel like the difference that you've had in your experience, where it's not so much colorism that you can kind of feel. There's a movement. There's a shift. And I think the more we put out there, my hair in any texture is amazing.
Yes.
My skin in any texture, but it's something that we have to continue to put on social media, because that's kind of like a new thing.
Right.
And then we kind of, over time, can relearn some of the things that we've been taught about ourselves. Apparently, we're angry. Apparently, we don't know how to get along with others. Apparently, we got attitudes about everything. Like, is it really true? No. So let me go ahead, and I'm on here, and I don't have no attitude, and I am tired, but I'm okay. Like, I got kids, we got stuff, I got bills, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. And we are seeing that shift with social media. You do see a shift where, with the pandemic, I love how I'm seeing more of us traveling internationally.
Oh, yeah.
It's so many of us traveling. And so I'm seeing tribes of melanated queens traveling together. So what is this? What is that? So and we are seeing more of us with, like you said, your locks, my kinks, my curls, whatever it is.
Or nothing at all.
Or nothing. Whatever it is, we're embracing it, and we're all in those comments snapping and cheering. Love that. You look great. You rocking it. So that yes, more of that. When I had a youth group, I had shared with the young ladies is that when you see a female and you see something on her that you like, don't just compliment. Try not to just compliment the article. Try to compliment her in the article. Because that can just be on the rack. That shirt. Okay, I like that shirt. Okay, you like my shirt? No, Jade, you are rocking that shirt,
girl.
Your tatas are sitting perfectly in that shirt. So give the whole package a compliment, and that's still it's still a work in progress, because sometimes it immediately comes out. Oh, I love those earrings. Instead of, girl, you look great in those earrings. Your neckline is just like So that's what we should try to do, because then it'll do like Jade says, that we are sending that positive energy out, that we are embracing ourselves and loving all of ourselves, every little nook and cranny that God gave us.
Amen.
I say.
Yes.
Any comments from the live group before we transition to our bodies, Jay?
No,
My body, your body, my body, babe.
So Huey is also watching.
But
Hey, Huey.
Huey's on.
You know Huey.
Hi, Nia. Thank you, Nia. So, when we were coming up with this idea for this episode, this experience, the bodies for me came about as I was watching this show on Netflix. I don't know if you all have seen it. It's called The Pleasures of Principle. The Principles of Pleasure. I was watching that along with Lizzo's Big Girls, the two of them at the same time. And so as far as the principles of pleasure, what I took from that was that, as women, living under this patriarchal system where everything is defined from the needs of the man. Even our ability to pleasure ourselves is all centered around how the male thinks we should pleasure ourselves. You know, I remember being struck by the women of various ages, and they were asked, "Can you name the parts of your reproductive system, parts of your body?" And the lady said, "You mean I can say the slang? I can run through all the slang. You know, new pussy and punani, and, you know." But she was like, "The real words." And so one lady was like, "Well, can you get me started?" But you know, what came up, she says, we've been reduced to just the vagina. Like everyone thinks the whole thing is the vagina because it's all about what they insert into us and what comes out of it, the baby. None of that other stuff is even important. So it was just like a 4-part series about us understanding the historical aspects of it all, and then taking our freedom back, taking our pleasure back. So I was like, just really, you know, so I highly recommend that. I was really, I really enjoyed that. And actually started watching it with my husband, which sparked great conversation. Again, another issue, another episode experience. And then the other show was Lizzo's Big Girls. And I mean, Lizzo was okay. I mean, I didn't not, she was just okay. But the premise of her show and it was all about love and body positivity. But the way she loved up on those young women who were auditioning, and there was no tolerating
body shaming,
attitudes, negativity. What you would say is you have some issues and you need to seek therapy about where that's coming from, you know. But it was just always just nurturing, and she wasn't afraid to share her own traumas too, and what she went through around the whole body, you know, positivity thing. So I just thought it was just so powerful. So that part kind of influenced this section, bodies. And I know, Bridget, you had already thrown out some questions. If you're okay, I'd like to go ahead and share one of the questions that you put in here.
Well, wait, are both of these shows on Netflix?
Okay, so the Principles of Pleasure is on Netflix. Okay. And then Lizzo is on Amazon Prime. Okay. All right. Yes. Thank you, Jade. Yes. And if you watched Lizzo on Saturday Night Live, there were some of the dancers from Big Girl who were auditioning. Some of them. Yeah, it was so beautiful because Lizzo was very intentional about people being able to see themselves on that stage.
Yeah. Representation.
So she was like always rooting, you know, even the one that may have been struggling, she was like, I'm rooting for you. I need you on my team because there's some girls out there that need to see you up on that stage. So baby, I need you to work a little harder. Maybe you need to get your endurance up. Whatever you need to do, I need that because there's some girls out here that need to see that. Just like, oh, Lizzo, loving on her.
Love.
Yes. So the first question we have here, is the relationship with your body positive, negative, or is it in a constant flux? So is the relationship with your body positive, negative, or in a constant flux? And be prepared to explain why.
And feel free to give your comments. You know, I'm gonna shout y'all out. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Come on. Anybody want to start this off?
Oh, I'll go. Okay. I would say that now my relationship with my body is positive, but before I would say that it was very negative, especially with me dealing with acne, because I know like that's the first thing people will see. So it did make me feel a bit insecure, especially since I didn't have it as a teenager. And it came in adulthood, so I was like, oh, I'm not taking any pictures anymore. I'm about to hide myself. I'm ugly. I was looking in the mirror, getting dressed in the dark, like, you know, it was that serious. So, you know, when you just feed yourself with that negative energy, it just transfers over to you. So, you know, I did get depressed and all that, and just been up and down. And I was just like, you know, I'm still beautiful regardless of what's on my face. You know, I'm still human.
Right.
And as long as I have a good attitude and I treat others right, you know, that's what matters. So later for, you know, the comments and stuff. So, you know, I don't cover myself. Sometimes I wear makeup, but I don't wear a full face. I just embrace, what God gave me. And I just started loving on myself and not focusing so much on it. And, now things are getting better overall for me. And even with my body image, because I've been up and down in my weight as well. And it's just, I guess, doing the healing work, honestly, like just spending that time by myself, having a better relationship with food, but most importantly, understanding that I can't, be good to others if I'm not good to myself. So, yes, I think that's it.
All of that. I totally relate with the acne thing too. Now I did have it all. I want to say we're just maybe late junior high school through high school. I was not interested in taking pictures at all. It was such a struggle, and like what you just go through, like the extremes you put your skin through.
Yeah.
I just wipe my face with alcohol. That'll do it. Just try it. Yeah, just whatever the extremes, but. Just at the end of the day, just not interested in taking pictures, not feeling good about myself. Makeup, I'm never into makeup. And even now what I do, my focus is on just having healthy skin because I didn't have it for so long.
Right.
So I just really just walk from having like healthy skin. So that was an issue for me. And then the body, I was just skinny. And wasn't nobody checking no skinny girl. Skinny girl with no butt. You can just like, can you move out the way? I can check out the girl with the big butt. That's just how it was. So, skinny girl, no butt, acne.
Right.
Hey,
Cheers. My people will laugh because I'm always relating something to TikTok. And there is a TikTok, and it says, I started from here. And then big body bends on I used to be 30. So like that. And so they show them at one point, and now they be like, we pushed her out the way. We pushed her out the way. Look at them. Look at them. You should have waited. But that's okay because Joe got it.
That's right. Joe appreciated it.
But circling back to something earlier, I felt like some of that unnecessary pressure that we place on ourselves came from, for me personally, came from my interaction with other men. It's never no other sister like, oh girl, is that a pimple on you?
You're right.
It's always like, oh, he's not checking for me because this. He's not checking for me because I'm brown skin. I got acne. I got no ass. It's just always that. That's probably where more of that awareness.
You're absolutely right. Because our body's just our body. We don't think anything about it until you're being pushed to the side because of your body.
And you got your girlfriends that love you because of your body.
Right.
I'm going to spank you on your butt because you got a fat butt. And I like that about you. And I'm going to hug up on you because you got a big old I love your body. I love the way we about to get blended. We both skinny. We got to try to believe. Like, it is what makes us beautiful. It makes us different. I can borrow your clothes. You borrow my shoes.
That's right.
That's not where I get that negative feeling like I need to change or I need to be better or I need to do something different. It really is the other species.
Being approval from them. Being accepted.
Feeling beautiful.
I think mine is a little different. It's from the older women, but maybe it's because of what they were thinking about what the men approval would be. Because to answer the question, we got a history, me and this body. It is positive. It has a history of being negative, and sometimes it can fluctuate back and forth if I'm not in a good space. But always too much thighs, too much breasts, too much this. But I think it came from, I was trying to think about like, where did this come from? When it started thickening, the older women in the South, man, they can be a lot. They gonna tell you when they see you starting to spread or develop, they like, what you eating? You gotta be careful. You gonna be big as a house. And all of that. So it created, like, and I used to be like, they don't think I see myself in the mirror. Like I'm the first one that's ripping because we're trying to fit this, I guess I was trying to fit, I was trying to fit the image of a white female with a slender body, and that just wasn't my body structure. I won't get ready. I got butt, and I won't get ready to be smooth in the back like that. but I didn't understand it. So my whole time growing up, I'm thinking, even in middle school, I'm thinking I'm big, I'm too big, I'm too big. And it's amazing because I look back at them pictures in middle school and I'm like, I wasn't like, I'm at middle school. Right. So it's been a long time trying to undo all of that mental work. I love this new generation of sisters with the body positivity. I'm like, yo, where were y'all when I was a teenager? To be okay with where you are, how you are. When I tell you they give me life with the bikinis, y'all don't be mad when I step out in the bikini because I'm testing my way and I'm coming with that joint because they are sizing me up on loving myself exactly where I am. And I am so feeling that right now.
And Nia also agrees. She was thinking about older women too.
Yeah.
How her experience has been.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nia.
Thank you, Nia.
Yes, yes. When did you first develop a love or a discontent for your body frame? When did you first develop a love or a discontent for your frame?
I probably would say, I think it might have been middle school, because I want to say my mom took me, I know it wasn't high school, because I was really just like doing my thing in high school. So I want to say it might have been middle school that she took me to a doctor about my size, you know. And I didn't think anything was wrong. That's the thing. You don't think anything. But then when you taking me to a doctor, then I'm like, oh crap, something's wrong with me. You know, and that's the thing, because I love my thickness. Of course, like, so the question previous was, I have a positive relationship with my body. And although I'm not where I want to be, it's a healthy relationship. It's not negative, it's healthy. So the things that I want to work on and change is still healthy. It's not negative or detrimental to me. So, but it was middle school. But thankfully, because of who the seed that was planted in me by God, and you know, then I guess whoever's around me and my sister and my tribe. By high school,
Couldn't tell you nothing.
you take it off. When one of my girlfriends, when her dad told me I was bodacious, I was like, explain that? I don't even know what that word is. That was not right. Bodacious. I was like, what? So yeah. That's it. That lasted, you know, part of middle school, and after that, it was like my sister had the small frame, and it's just what it is, you know. I saw some pictures from her high school and me middle school. We same height, and I'm like, I look fine. I was fine. It was just that because I was fifth grade. Right. It was just that I was the boom and the boom and the. But it was all, I had a crop top on, it wasn't nothing falling out of it, you know. Yeah, but it was just my sister's 5 years older than me, so we literally had on, I don't know if you still hear Leslie, but we literally had on the same outfit, just different color, I think tennis shoes, and the shirt was a little different, but it was the same shirt, but just different colors here. We was in San Antonio, and I was like, hair flipped, like Farrah Fawcett, like that feathered look, and I took good. But again, it was because of my age. Right. But it wasn't unhealthy. But of course, you take me to the doctor. It is unhealthy because, like Richard said, how she was looking at herself, that the frame they were trying to tell her it needs to be, you know, white. So that's what the doctor is telling my mom, that my frame is, you know, but it's the gut, you know, it's the gut healthy, we good. All right, leave me alone. So that ain't last long.
Leslie said extremely confident. Hi, Leslie. No.
So the bodacious was right on point.
Right on point. Tracy said middle school, but it took, I was going to say middle school, but third grade, I can see this paper where we went on a family diet in the third grade. My mother, my father, and I was included in that diet. And I could see where my mother wrote our weights down on the page, and weighed 93 pounds in the 3rd grade. I don't know if that was big or not, but because we went on a diet and she wrote 93 pounds, I thought I was big. And now I'm like, freaking 93 pounds? Oh my God. So 3rd grade, it started for me. Like, you got to get this weight together.
Yeah, that's a lot for 3rd.
Yeah.
Right.
The discontent for me was, since I was a small frame and I was very athletic, I didn't need big breasts.
Mm-hmm.
Big breasts for me just got in the way. And so as the breast kept growing, and as Jay said, became noticeable by the male species. I found my breasts, I didn't like them. I want them to be small. I would wear like sports bras, just flatten them out. And I did not like the attention that it drew from men.
Right.
And I remember one time, Joe and I think we were married at the time. Well, no, we were dating. And I was over one of my friend's house with her boyfriend. And he said, yo, man, I was walking in the store and I saw this girl. She was real skinny with big boobs. I thought, man, she reminded me of Lisa. You know, real skinny, because you don't see that all the time. And I just remember shrinking like this. And Joe's looking at him like, why would you say that?
Right.
What are you saying? I'm just like shrinking while we're sitting there because it just further like, oh God. So I was very discontent with my breasts. I did not like the attraction that they brought and just wanted to hide them, bind them. If I'll get money, I will make them smaller just so, no one would notice.
Right.
You know, just kind of go back to my skinny self again, you know, where I can just kind of like move through and not have to garner that attraction of any kind, attention of any kind. Yeah.
Nia has a comment here. She said the medical system operating on white standards is so scary.
So scary.
Yes.
And literally giving us the information as like passing us that information with no consideration about us, how we're developing. Even in the Lizzo videos, the dancers talk about how they're not taught to dance, or girls with thicker thighs are not considered in ballet or things like that. Just erasing us off the map. Yeah.
So like when they're moving, they need to know how to balance their weight so that they can protect their knees and ankles. But there's no thought to that, you know. So
auditions, they're looking for a certain body type.
Right.
That's
it.
Wow. Yeah. Did anyone else have any comments in the IG Live as it relates to those two questions before we move forward?
No, just thanks for this talk. Great conversation. You know.
And thank you for your feedback.
Thank y'all.
Okay, Toshan.
You had shared something, Lisa, in that was you? Yes, you shared it in our IG, our Lips and Lobes private, our DM. Okay. It is a queen. What's her name? No Ordinary. I never read
No
how you say
Ordinary.
it. It's a shame how they put it all together, and I'm like saying no. I'm saying Nor. Say it again, Lisa.
Is it No Ordinary Noir?
Yes, that's her. This queen. So she pumps us up. So if you want to put her in the chat. So she did a post. She has on a muted yellow kind of suit and a lace pink. What is that called? Bustier? Like a bustier is the post that she did. Rio, and she is telling us, don't wait, you know, pump your stuff right now. She says the SHIT, pump your stuff right now. Don't wait until you lose weight. Don't wait until this job. Don't wait until that person, whatever it is, pump your stuff right now. So whatever it is, the flaw or what we don't like about ourselves right now, what we may be trying to change, whether that's internal or external, don't wait until you get to that so-called point, that destination. Pump your stuff, do you right now. So I love that. She said your season is right now. So that is a word. Our season is when? Right now. All right, right now. So loving you is in season right now. All of you. Big boobs, little boobs, big booty, no booty, big thighs, little thighs, dark skin, light skin, whatever it is, your season is now to pump your stuff right now.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. I was like, when I saw her, I'm like, this is mindfulness.
Yeah.
This is like living right now in the present. And I like that she said, stop waiting, because we always wait.
Yeah.
Well, when I lose this weight or when I do this, then I will.
Right.
But I'm wearing this cute outfit right now. I look cute in it. I'm claiming it. Don't stop wasting time. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. And when we have confidence in ourselves, we can rock anything just about, because we know that we're owning it. We are owning it. So have that confidence in ourselves, pump us up. And again, that goes back to also not only ourselves, how we feel and think about ourselves, but the tribe that we are around, because they're going to pump us up as well. So yeah.
So another question Miss Bridget posted here: who or what helps shape your relationship with your body? Who or what helps shape your relationship with your body? And that's for the ladies here as well as you all in the IG Live world. Feel free to put your comments in the box below and we will share them out. Who helps to shape your relationship with your body?
Where I am now, I would say comes a lot from God. My spiritual journey is that although it may be in excess than what should be, but this is what I was gifted from God. So that's where I am now. And so reading my word, it says that everything has been shaped into a divine purpose. It's divinely designed. So the shape is divinely designed. It may be some excess here or there, but the shape is divinely. The width of my nose, my full cheeks, my little bitty eyes, all of that. That is divinely designed. So now previously, before getting to that spiritual awakening, I would say is my father. And I don't know if it had, if it had something to do, because I took my father's complexion, which is more melanated, and my sister took more of my mother's complexion. They're lighter skin. Being in Houston now, they got a little bit darker, but they still were the lighter. And so I don't know if that was the thing to make sure that I was proud, because there was a lot of colorism within our families, then in our communities, the light skin, and then the dark skin, because, you're pretty for a dark skin. Why do we say that? That's another thing that we say. So dark skin means that you can't be pretty. So that seed was there with him, constantly having black dolls, having books with black, kids in there, those kind of things, so that I knew to be proud of my blackness. And then the other thing I would say, as the younger, would be my sister, because she never made me feel that because she was lighter, that she was prettier. Oh, wow. So then that's the other thing that I would stem. So from my youth, I would say, from what I knew then, without knowing God, having a relationship there, I would put it as my father and my sister. Then as I got older, then I realized the enforcement was really because God, this is his design. This is, the creator's design. So it's perfect. So in that sense, it is flawless because the creator did it.
Amen.
So
I must say, as a youth, family, both negative and positive. Older, it's spirituality and relationship with self. I learned how to accept the body that I have, and I know how to dress this body to make it look like I want to look like, to make me feel good. And I trust my instincts on what works for me. So that has helped a lot, that relationship. I've done a lot of work. I have a tattoo that says the mirror's on the inside, because I had some vicious mirror moments that I've had to move through and have some self-healing about what I saw in the mirror. And the last thing I'll say, representation matters. So social media has been really great for me. I follow this site called Curvy, I think it's called Curvy Sugars or something like that. All of the social media platforms that celebrate plus size women and celebrate them being beautiful have really helped to kind of help me maintain this buoyancy so that I don't go underground and start moving into the negativity. So it's like a whole wraparound community type thing.
Mm-hmm. You know, B, I want to piggyback off of when she was talking about her family, the circle, it could be positive and the negative.
Yeah.
And it also made me think about hearing people now that we're older, and now as Jade was talking also that and Tesha was talking, it's kind of cool to be chocolate. You know, it's kind of in style.
Allegedly.
You know, yeah, that's where we're at. Whereas back before, it was like, ooh, you know, you could go out with somebody who was lighter skinned than you, and like Lisa was saying, oh, move out the way because I wanted to see the one with the booty. Move out the way because I'm looking for the light skinned one.
Yeah.
You know, so what my sister and I remember people would say, y'all look nothing alike. They used to always say that. We look nothing alike because all they did was look at the color. That's it, the color of our skin. Now, oh my gosh, that has to be your sister over there, Leslie, because y'all look alike. Because now we're no longer just like that, just so ignorant, just to see the shade, you know. So that was the other thing. So how it can be damaging from the community as well is that. Whoa, and don't realize what we're doing when we say that, because what you're really saying is that y'all don't look nothing like a she, just black.
Yeah.
You know, so, yep.
I want to say everything that definitely you said, Bridget, you know, as related to, you know, how you feel about your body, you know, your family, spirituality. But I want to say as I got older, definitely when I became a mother and I watched my daughter, Nia, I watched her take ownership of her body and be proud of her body and her appearance. I loved how, you know, again, as Black people, we go in on nose, lips, I have very full lips. And I watched Nia in the mirror, and she put her little lip gloss on her lips, and her lips be poking out. And I'm just like, she's just like, yo, these are my lips, and I love my lips. I love my lips. And I'm like, I love her confidence. Or just how she'd wear her body, her little crop top. Yeah, okay, I have this body. That's your problem, whatever your perceptions are. I'm not owning that. They're just so unapologetic about that. And I'm just like, man, she's really, I see her really enjoying being a woman, right? And I'm like, I feel like in this season of my life, I am reclaiming that because I missed out on being a woman and all that is. And I love watching her be a woman, and whether she's doing makeup, whether she's doing lashes, whether she's wearing her crop top, whatever it is. And whatever people got to say about it, she's like, I'm not taking that on. That's your ish, you know? And so I'm like, I'm learning from her. She definitely has shaped and is shaping where I am in this season of my life as it relates to my body. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you, Nia.
Thank you.
That's right. We learned. The older generation learn from
Yes,
the young.
Every day.
Yeah, I'm scared.
All right. Anybody want to share anything?
Let me hop online real quick. Leslie has a comment. She says, hey, Lisa, I agree. My daughter is definitely my inspiration. She loves and embraces who God created her to be. No apologies.
That's right. That's right.
That's amazing.
I appreciate it. And it goes the same way.
Yeah.
And it goes the same way. No apologies. And, you know, she has spoken on, I've heard her speak on, sometimes family will say things and make her feel some kind of way. She's like, I'm not.
Not my problem.
It's not my problem.
She will check Indigo will check her grandmother, and why would you say that to me? And I'm like, hey, that's that generation. You can't talk about their bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not here for that at all.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Nia said, I didn't know that was your perception. I love that.
Oh!
Big wide grin emoji.
Don't be making me cry on IG Live.
That is sweet. So we have a few minutes. So we always want to give some takeaways. because when we have these experiences, these moments together, you know, we can get filled with enlightening moments, but we want to, you know, make sure that it may be something that you want to continue to work on, if it is your journey to be working on any of these myths, or how you look in the mirror and what you see in the mirror, how you receive your body. So, what is our takeaways?
What are our takeaways?
What are our takeaways? We're gonna come up with them.
All right.
Because there was a lot said.
There's a lot
Let me
said.
see what resonates with me.
You still on the right, or you want to put it in the chat?
Oh, we can put it in the chat. Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. That's perfect.
Okay.
That is perfect.
Therapy is okay, folks. Therapy is good.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes you do need,
Mhm.
you know, that person to help you through this. And I know for people of color in the past, there was a lot of stigma surrounding therapy. Therapy is a good thing, and it's all right. And you don't have to go in necessarily with a, okay, I don't think I have anything wrong, or what am I going to say? Just, you know, I'm here, and I just need to talk.
See what comes up.
And see what comes up, and that's okay. Just whatever, it's okay.
Mhm.
Something kind of what Tesha said, and you all can help me shape it, that Black women can get along when we encounter one another and it's off. Let's check ourselves,
So check
and
ourselves.
also wonder what's underneath and maybe what's coming, where it's coming from before we create judgment on that sister.
Okay, let's hold so we can get that. Check ourselves.
Check ourselves
Introspection, little situation.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then see where you said.
and wonder what's underneath the emotion and where it's coming from.
Mhm.
So that's 3 parts in there.
Yes.
Entering a room or amongst other melanated queens. If we feeling a little off, we feeling some insecurity, you know, we feel like, oh, they looking at me, they're not welcoming me. Pause.
Pause.
Check.
Check.
Self.
Thine self.
Yes. Check.
Thine
I check them. Check.
Uh,
Check self. And then
We're going to have some introspection.
introspection.
And
Yeah.
from there, figure out where
Go
you should
down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. And it may not be the opportune moment to do it then, but this is just maybe
Mental
some
note.
mental note to do it later when you leave the room or the environment, wherever. And then the last thing, where is that coming from? Where is the root?
Yeah.
Because we haven't even met them people.
We ain't know nothing about them people.
Nope.
And then we already projecting, you know.
Making
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
already.
Ooh, boy.
Already, yeah. She may be in a thought. She may be thinking about something, so that may have her face screwed up. If it actually was screwed up, you don't know what. She might have been thinking about something that happened the other day or a few minutes ago, and then we happen to walk in on it and be like,
Oh, she
"She
be
be
hungry."
hungry." Yeah, she could be hungry.
She got to be on her cycle.
You know that blood clot just hit her. That cramp. It's real.
Right.
All right, so that is the one for when our confidence in looking at ourselves before we go on to check other people as well. Lisa also shared therapy. In that show we watched, I remember, what is it? It was the women. It was certain women, and we did a clip on them. I can't even think about it. You took a clip from YouTube.
Mother's Garden.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, that was
So
good.
one of the queens on Mother's Garden, it was on YouTube, right? Was it YouTube?
Netflix.
They have it on
It was on
Netflix.
Netflix.
They have it on
Yes.
Netflix.
Yeah.
So one of the queens said she, sold for therapy, but she remembers that her mother didn't have the money for therapy, anything like that. So her mother would get her Oprah and Iyanla Vincent, and that was her mother. Her mother would go in a room, and that was her therapy. She realized she needed therapy, but she couldn't afford it. So if that is the case and you can't afford it, let's figure out some kind of way that we could get something, Again, looking at our tribe, looking at, like Jay said, going to YouTube, journaling, different things, taking those pauses, breath work, praying, whatever it is, meditating, doing something, taking walks, just finding out what type of therapy it is that you need in your moment. Mirror work is a beautiful thing. Just to take a mirror and look at it. I mean, even if you take your phone, if we take our cell phones and turn it on the camera and turn it towards ourselves and look in the mirror and just tell ourselves that you are beautiful. I love you. Not with any buts or want you or if you, just plain and simple. I love you. And I love all that you are. I love every little ounce of you. I love this size, that size, whatever it is, this color, this shape, you know, this kink, this curl, whatever it is, or none at all. So just doing some mirror work, talking to yourself in the mirror. A lot of times we may talk to ourselves, but that's vulnerability, because that's what we said, you know, it's getting vulnerable. So looking in the mirror and talking to ourselves, that's being really vulnerable and raw.
The other thing is, before, even if there's a desire to have change, before change can happen, you have to fully accept where you are at this moment.
Yep.
Period. Blank.
Mm-hmm. Acceptance. So that is the word. Acceptance. Bridget's gonna make I can just feel Bridget. She puts these words together, y'all. She just can go ahead and just let her sit back there. We're going to have a little affirmation Bridget going to put together. Come on, Bridget, because you had a poem that we do so that we can make our own little, give us something, maybe a half of a prompt, and then we can complete it, Bridget. Something. I know you can do it. I know you can. She always does it. It's like half of a prompt, and then we're led to complete it on our own. You know, it's something that will feed our soul, something that we can go into the mirror and look at ourselves and feed, you know, that inner healing, that inner love, self-love. So
so what's coming up for me is it's real simple, and I'm gonna see how y'all feel. Today is a great day too.
Today is a great too.
Today is a great day to finish it for me.
Okay.
And Queens, you can drop your
Today
statement
is
if
a
you
great
like.
day too.
It's center your response
Around the theme.
around mirrors, myths, or your body. Because there's no better time to start than the presence. Today is a great day to ... Fill in the blanks.
Today is a great day too. ... I got one.
Okay. I love how you said that.
Today is a great day to sunbathe in my hammock, naked.
Oh.
Naked.
Oh, are you gonna do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm never using vitamin D. Yes. It's a great way to do that.
It is. It's a great day. Accepting what she has.
I mean, let it all be brown.
Letting it all be.
Yes.
All be brown, no tan
Okay,
lines.
I'm gonna look the same. I want to look like a chocolate bar by the end of the day.
I got one.
And that thing gets hot out there. Her son for
I
it.
got
Okay, I want to see that chocolate. So mine have dual layers. Today is a great day to love her in all her layers. To love her in all her layers.
Because we are layerlicious. We are layerlicious. All right, I like that. All the layers. All right, anybody else?
Today is a great day for me to continue to explore those things that bring me pleasure and voice them with confidence to my husband, to my friends, even to myself. And it's okay. More than okay, because it's what makes me who I am.
Absolutely.
I share.
That's juicy. It is juicy.
Any from the chat?
Still looking.
Okay.
Say something.
No pressure. No pressure.
Today is a great day to be silent.
And just sit with this. Just sit with it. And that is another a takeaway that pretty much is standard with our experiences, is for us to sit with ourselves. Sit with ourselves. A lot of times we are busy, blessed busy lives we have, our schedules, demanding schedules. But as Jay said, we came in to get on our own, we'll leave on our own. So let's sit on our own, you know, accepting who we are, like Bridget said. So even if it is just a few seconds, a few moments, just take that. It may even be on the throne in the bathroom. But wherever it is, take those moments and just honor yourself, giving thanks, accept, like Bridget said, accept where we are in this moment right now. And then have that self-love talk with ourselves, and then process what needs to be done so that you can fulfill your purpose and your greatness, and however that looks for you. Yeah, like Bridget said, accepting her layers. So we're accepting our layers, and our layers are different from the queen next to us layers. Yeah. So I think that was it. I think that's some good takeaways. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, thank y'all so very much for joining us for our first live. Woo! For our 2-year anniversary experience. Yes. It's our birthday or anniversary. It's something.
What you call these things?
Anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
You got no boomerang.
I'm doing a boomerang.
So we will let you know. So please, again, be sure that you are following us and subscribe to us so that you will receive emails, notices about what's going on in our queendom, where we'll be, whether or not we'll be here, Zoom, we'll be out and about in the DMV. We do travel, as well as we do expos, workshops for other organizations. So, hey, you can hit us up for that as well. But yeah, we thank y'all for your time, because again, you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to spend this afternoon with us, and we are so very much appreciative of your time, your energy, your love, your support, your comments, and all of that. So what we do at our end of our experiences, because this is lips, your lobes, and then we say peace.
Peace, queens.
Peace, queens.
Oh.
I told you I ain't gonna let y'all see me get up. So look, see how y'all there. We don't like a twerk. We gonna be down here. I can't, but it's gonna take a minute to get up now.
Like a twerk.
So I'm just gonna do this right here. Right here.
Lips and lobes, Tarshawn. Lips and lobes, be arts. Lips and lobes, Lisa Peace. Lips and lobes, Tasha.
Put it on you.
And today the same. Yeah, we here, y'all. Bye. Happy Sunday. We'll see y'all soon.